Hey guys, this is OzoneTCG. Sean here with Eric Meadows.
What's up?
We are going over the alternative formats that just got revealed in a leak, I want to say. I don't remember how this got shown, but it looks pretty official to us, so I guess we can go over it
Yeah.
for a little bit. If you're tired of current format, which I know a lot of people are, these are pretty good substitutes, I think, in my opinion. They're important for a number of reasons. First one being that it's officially supported by OTS stores, meaning old format, rogue tournaments, anything like that. You can play and win packs, OTS packs, or store credit. It's gonna attract new and old players too. I think I have a lot of boomers at my locals that would really love to play Goat format. I'll tell you this right now.
A lot of people seem to be wanting some kind of officially supported GOAT format, and thankfully now there is a way to do that to where you're not just stuck playing, casual games for it.
Yeah, I also think it's telling of future like implementations.
Yeah.
First one being that we could probably see these at events.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. And the second one being that this is probably also in Master Duel.
Probably. I could see it, and I can see why they would have delayed the game because there was no way the game was coming out before before
Oh yeah,
2022.
yeah.
But with this now that we've had this, I could see being supported. I also think there's a third thing on what kind of products we may see in the future. So either reprint sets or sets specifically made for this. So like Magic has different sets for formats. There are commander oriented things. There are pioneer oriented products, popper oriented things. Not so much, I guess, now, but previously. I feel like we could see something like this where there could be, like right now we have the speed duels. We could see something like, a time wizard. We'll get on to all the formats in a little bit, but a time wizard specific product. This could really introduce a lot more products, and it may be a reason why they're pushing some of it now too. Like, especially
Yeah,
if it's supported at events.
I think we've seen some of the ripples already because I think Dawn's the log is the next goat, or next lost art,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
I've seen quite a few buyouts now for the commentary thing. Goki Suprex is one of the major ones.
yeah,
So it's really funny that it's affecting our formats already.
yeah.
I guess with that said, though, I guess I'll hop in. This video is just mostly going to be explaining over the different formats and I guess preparing people for it. So yeah, start. So for the first one, we have Time Wizard, which I think is the most hyped one I've seen so far on the internet.
Yep.
For those of you who don't know, it's basically like you can pick any old format in Yu-Gi-Oh's history and just play it. So the most famous one is going to be Goat format, which I don't remember what year that was, but a lot of people play this format.
Yeah, that was the April 2005 ban list up through right before Cybernetic Revolution came out. And this is a way for people to finally settle the if Exarian universe is legal or not. Ultimately, up to TOs, now. Yeah, so this format, you can go back to really any time so long as the tournament organizer agrees to it or they set it up. I think the most common thing we'll see is GOAT format. Um, we have a few other popular formats I know, and if I think we've already listed them.
Edison,
Yeah,
Wind Up, and Zector. I think that was 2012. 2013 was Dragon Rulers. And then I have personal favorites. Those are a little later, but I am glad to go back to it. Any of the Spiral formats I would love to play.
I know for me, the 2000 mid 2014, hat format, beginning of Duelist Alliance. Not so much right when Duelist Alliance came out, but probably started with new challengers and up to my favorite format of July 2015 after June was banned. I'm excited to see those being played and even into the early 2016 formats, and even zoo formats. I mean, everything is technically officially supported. Again, so long as the TO makes it clear to everyone they have their own events now. I think this is going to be a really cool format. Not gonna
Oh, for
lie.
sure. I also get to go back to the formats that I got to like miss competitively,
Yeah,
which I'm interested in. Like,
yeah.
I didn't miss Draco Pal, but I love that format so much. I wanted to try all the other decks, so I just never got the chance to. I think this would be really cool. That's Time Wizard. I guess moving on, we will go to Heart of the Underdog. Okay, so for Heart of the Underdog, I guess everyone has sort of experience with this before, where let's just say current format was a little too overbearing. Now the tournament store owners could implement their own ban list, and you play under that. if you played under Facebook before, you might have seen this in like special rogue tournaments, like luxuries special tournaments. Scrawl Lockbird and Dragon Rider Facebook groups, I believe, were the
Yeah.
three biggest ones
Yeah.
I saw on Facebook.
And some locals have them too. I've seen locals, not necessarily, obviously not officially supported until now, but I've seen locals host their own ban lists, or even at small universities, people would make their own ban list, so you can't play a certain amount of cards,
Oh
or
yeah.
keep formats too.
During Goki format, I've seen this a lot. Mostly people just playing rogue formats because they were just tired of getting hand looped to death. It was just crazy. I don't know. I know on Reddit we usually have like a yearly tradition where we play a non-meta tournament, which is like I want to say 200, 300 people, and
Yeah.
that is just basically a big rogue tournament. There's a lot of thought put into the list, a lot of players, a lot of fun. You guys should try that out actually if you ever get the chance to. Hard Underdog is basically what it tells the rogue format. I think it's going to be a little bit weird because I think it's up to the stores to determine what's too strong. But I mean, we don't know the full layout yet, so I guess it's time will only tell that. That's Hard Underdog though. Looking forward to that too. For the next one is Common Charity. This one is personally my favorite out of the new formats. I have theoried and tested this a lot since it's been revealed. For those of you who don't know, it is basically Pauper for Magic, where you can only play with common cards. And I think this includes like an interesting dynamic when it comes to deck building, because you take like any deck and you'll realize that so many of the decks have cards that are like hollow randomly, and that just screws up the entire deck. Like, let's say, what do I want to guess? I don't know, Cyber Dragon, for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of their good cards are actually common now because of the structure deck. But then you get random cards like Hertz and Infinity who only come hollow, and that just, you have to decide whether or not that's like actually a good deck or not.
Yeah. Or with like the new, like it's going off of Cyber Dragons, like the Cyber Dark support, some of them are only available hollow, ironically enough, from the structure deck. But then the cards were also reprinted, But even some like good generic cards, like we've seen in Cyber Eldritch recently. Cyber Skagit originally came out as a common. That's really cool. But others, some other cards, some important cards like Edge Imp Chain, as far as I know, I'm not sure if that's a common or not, but something like that. In Fluffles, that's huge.
It originally came common, I believe, but all the good tier targets for that card are like rare or higher, so it's funny.
Yeah.
I think another thing is though, it makes sets a lot more fun now. So when sets get revealed, you're kind of hoping some of the good cards are common, just to like spice up more deck building. Like for instance, actually, the Albaz structure deck is on the horizon. I think in a few months from now, and off the OCG list alone, it's kind of crazy. We get Ogre, Seyfried, and Levianeer, which is like enough to shake out formats.
All as commons. More like
all as common. There's more too that I can't think off the top of my head. But it's just like
Artifact Scythe, if we get that, in
there.
Super Polymerization is already a common. Ash Blossom is a common, of course. We have a bunch of stuff that's generic in our current game that can also be used in this common charity format.
Yeah, the power level of the actual format is a lot lower than current. You're missing a lot of staples like Nightmares and a lot of finishers like Access Code and Moral Sword, which makes duels go on a lot longer than they would in current. There's also not a lot of like sticky staples like DPE and Dragoon.
And not to mention this, like other staple cards like Droplet, Triple Tactics Talent, Impermanence. That's only a super lowest rarity. All of that's just not in the format. Lightning Storm, Mystic Mine. I don't know.
Yeah, Imperm begs the question because it's so weird that, funny enough, I go back to the Cyber Dragon example. It came as a super in that structure deck for some reason.
Right.
So you can't play it, but Ash Blossom came out in Soulburner as a common, so that's also in the format. It's just, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
For sure. That's common charity, though. I will have more videos planned out for that. Finally, we have the last new format, Deckmaster. It's mostly similar to Commander and Magic. I don't really play Commander. I think it's like Highlander and Commander. This doesn't sound like it's Highlander, but basically you start to duel off with any card, any monster on the side, basically. And while that card's there, all of its continuous effects or effects are just like applying while it's on the field. So you get a lot of like crazy situations like Last Warrior from another planet applying.
Yeah,
Or Spell Canceller, Jinzo, like think of any floodgate monster you can think of and just apply that.
Vanity's Ruler, Majesty's Fiend, Vanity's Fiend,
Mono Iwano, yep.
Naturi Exterio, all of that.
The rules aren't fully ironed out yet, I think, based on what you can use. You can also summon that card at any point of the duel without it summoning requirements. But the only trade-off is that if it ever like gets destroyed or anything, you lose the duel off the spot. Which I guess would be interesting, but I think the only time you'd be summoning it is if you're closing out the game.
Yeah. And it's not clear. So this is the problem with the format. Obviously, we have those really degenerate cards, Last Warrior especially, that just lock you out of entire mechanics. Same with, Vanity's Fiend, Majesty's Fiend knocking you out of, monster effects. It's also not clear as if the monster leaves the field if it's destroyed, if it can, if it can be used as Xyz material, and then that Xyz monster is destroyed, what happens then? So say you have like Eldritch, the Golden Lord, right? You could have that as your deck master theoretically. If it leaves the field, you want to try and revive it. Do you just lose already? That's not entirely clear. Or if only destroyed by battle or card effect. We don't know quite yet.
Yeah, piggybacking off that too, I think this format, just off idea alone, is going to need either a massive list to, I guess, cure all the problems in it, or I want to say like some restrictions in play. Like for instance, I think on the bare minimum, you should not allow extra monsters for this.
Mm-hmm.
I think that will solve like half the issues of the format. Then you just whittle down all the main deck monster floodgates that you could think of. And then yeah, it sounds interesting afterwards. I think it would be a lot of fun, but I think until then they need to iron out the details. That's basically Deckmaster though. We're just waiting on time for that one, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just funny format. All right, and last but not least, we have Rivalry of the Warlords. I'm unsure if this is an alternate format, but we don't have that much information based on it right now. I think once we officially get this revealed, because this is a leak after all, I think that we'll get more information on this, and it might be cool, it might not be, but that's basically just keep that in mind. I think that's the fifth alternate format we have besides current.
It just says it'll be a fun and easy way to introduce duelist themes they may not contemplate. It sounds like Heart of the Underdog. Maybe there's a set list of themes not allowed by Konami. I guess we'll just have to see for more details. That's really all we can say about it without any other speculation.
Besides that, though, that is all 5 of the new alternate formats. I think there's a lot of potential here, a lot of fun to be had. I cannot wait for these to actually be like implemented fully, or I guess officially revealed will be the first start. Yeah.
Right.
For OTSs, because my OTS store, I love current, or I like current, but I love some of the ideas presented here, like Commentary for sure, Hard the Underdog for sure.
I think my two favorite are the Time Wizard and Commentary. I know you said your favorite so far was the Commentary. I think Time Wizard and Commentary have the most potential, just because you can have so many card pools for Time Wizard, and you can buy all the old staples, bling out old decks, and then actually win prizes from it, as opposed to just having them and playing them casually, or relying on third-party services like Facebook or other luxury gaming. And then Common Charity, that obviously, like we said before, you can take a look at the common cards and say, hey, how does this affect my deck that I'm playing right now for the future? Because now I either have to include this card, whether it be a staple, or if it's just that good as a generic card in this kind of common format, if it's worth including or worth playing around.
Yeah, I can already tell you, I think Time Wizard is the most popular.
I think I agree.
Format. Yeah, like there's just so many like old format players. I talked to quite a few people now about what they want to play. It's just Time Wizard's crazy, bro. Like that's probably one of the best changes they had so far.
I think they've been listening to people wanting an officially supported, especially GOAT format, because people were saying, well, just bring back GOAT format. This is easiest way to just make it so that all the old formats, are supported in some way. So I think by far most popular of the alternate formats will be Time Wizard, and most popular format within Time Wizard will most likely be GOAT format. I could see, you know, Edison.
Yeah, it's for people who
Yeah.
don't know. Go format is so popular that it has gotten its own ranking system on Dueling Book. That's how crazy popular that format is. Is now you'll have more people playing it. It's really cool.
And you can have like Worlds formats for like 2019 if you're a Salmon Great fan, you love Trickstars, whatever. You like Taylor Knights in 2015. All of that you can just play in those specific ban lists. I mean, this is speculation of mine, but if you're playing, you know, Worlds formats, your locals might even allow, you know, OCG cards to be played as though you were playing in the actual Worlds format at those
cool.
locals. That would be really cool to be able to do. Again, speculation on my part. But even just having the old cards to use, like one of my favorite decks personally is Sylvan's. I own the whole deck in its original rarity. It's going to be nice to be able to actually play that for, say, a 2014 tournament.
Yeah, instead of waiting for support. Yeah,
exactly.
I understand that completely. That's basically it. We're basically just waiting on Konami to send us something following up this picture. I mean, I have common charity videos on the way in works right now. I imagine some of our other team members actually are interested in making videos for these, so keep a lookout for that. Besides that is it. This is Ozone.